Hello, and welcome to Lit Gloss, Philadelphia Weekly's book review extravaganza. Today we're talking about unwieldy graphic novels. First, we'll start out with some books I received recently. The most unwieldy of which was this one. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. It's enormous graphic novels that you just can't read on the subway. I think my frustration with the unwieldy graphic novel started quite some time ago with Chris Ware. Look at this enormous book. I mean, are you really going to carry this around? Yes, it's a gorgeous art book, don't get me wrong. And the thing that with Chris Ware is that you really do get bang for your enormous buck. So each spread, each page is just very rich. There's so much content. Not so with some of the others. George Sprott, 1894 to 1975. This is a graphic novel by Seth. He only goes by the one name, it's like Cher. So as you can see with Seth, sometimes it's really worth it to have a large format so you can look at each of the tiny panels. Other times, you really don't need the large format. And to be completely frank, and I love you drawn and quarterly, I say this with a bit of regret, this is one of the most boring graphic novels I've ever read in my entire life. In May, the paperback version of Shortcomings is coming out. This is a brilliant book by Adrian Tomine. It's a book about a young man who feels inadequate in certain regards. He's a brilliant artist. He does New Yorker covers. If you see him once, you recognize his style. What is unwieldy is the recent release of his mini comics, the original versions of Optic Nerve. It's just, they're everywhere! Oh my god! I'm really excited about these. What's fascinating is that, you look at the first one and the drawing is really kind of rough, and then you can see how he evolves as an artist. It's awesome. Julie Doucet? French. I don't really know how to say her last name. Also, a little hard to deal with. The last book that Drawn and Quarterly published of hers, 365 Days, quite heavy, quite large. Just to give you a sense of what those pages look like, each one is just so rich with detail that it's really, there's no other way to have done this book. However, the book has these, I don't know if you can see that, Joel, but the book has these stripes on it, these, what do you call those? Lines, the horizontal lines. I find that very distracting. So I'll be honest with you, I've had this for 2 years, I still haven't read it. Also unwieldy in an emotional way is Top Shelf's 2008 book Swallow Me Whole by Nate Powell. It was nominated for the LA Times Book Prize. It was the first graphic novel to have that honor since Mouse in 1992. It received 3 nominations for the Eisner Awards this year, and it's just brilliant and overwhelming. It's about 2 kids, one suffering from schizophrenia. It's disturbing and heartbreaking and kind of surreal, has some Charles Burns aspects to it. It's hard to read. It's hard to read, but it's really worth it. Then we have, from Fantagraphics, Bottomless Belly Button. It's so heavy. It's so heavy. Oh my god. Another recent submission here is You'll Never Know by C. Tyler. She's a woman who's in her mid-50s. She's writing about her father's World War I history as a veteran, and the way that she was able to talk to him about that history. This video gives you a sense of what the book looks like. It's a really rich experience because the drawing styles are very different depending on the content, and you feel kind of sympathetic towards her struggle of trying to get him to open up to her. Lastly, from Chronicle Books, who really specialize in large books sometimes, comes this new book. It's not a graphic novel, but it has all the fabulous elements that we graphic novels fans enjoy. Subway art. Remember when New York was like gritty and fun and, dirty and pre-Giuliani? Philly had a lot of disgusting trains and stuff.
My name is Henry Chalfin, and I'm a partner with Martha Cooper in the creation of Subway Art, which became one of the basic texts for the whole graffiti movement. The book had great influence around the world and inspired a lot of people to take up paint.
It is the size of my torso! Is that necessary? I don't know, maybe it is. And that's all for today. Thank you for visiting with us, Lit Gloss Graphic Novels Extravaganza.